Okay, so guys, this is a 12 volts DC motor and this is a 220 volts generator. The output of this generator is connected to this, and this 12 volts DC motor is going to be operated by this 12 volts Amaron battery. Okay, so these are its terminals. The shafts of both of these motors and generators are connected with the help of back-to-back chuck for proper alignment. Okay. So the basic concept behind this project is producing 220 volts by giving an input of 12 volts, and with the help of that AC as measured by the multimeter, this bulb should glow. Okay. So this is how it is going to work. Now I'm going to connect the bulb. Okay, bulb is connected and all I have to do is touch these terminals, and the generator will start generating 220 volts with an input supply of just 12 volts. Okay. So this is how it is going to work. I am giving it 12 volts DC and the output is 220 volts. 300 something volts. Very high voltage and extremely high speed. Yeah, 320 to 600 volts. Yeah, 489 volts maximum voltage. So the shoots were really high for this motor, and the motor was unable to attain any constant speed. It kept on accelerating. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to operate these low voltage 3 volts to 12 volts DC motor with the help of this 300 volts inverter. So all these motors are from a range of 3 volts to 12 volts except for this one. This is rated at 300 volts DC. So guys, a few days back I made a similar video in which I operated these motors at a voltage supply of 4000 volts DC but at a very low input current. So in this case I have arrived to a middle ground in which the voltage is not that high but also the current is not that low. So in my previous video the inverter I used was capable of producing around 0.07 amperes, but here this inverter is capable of producing up to 0.25 amperes. Okay, so guys, as you can see I have connected this bulb in series with this rectifier so that all the output from this inverter does not falls directly on this motor. So this bulb is going to act as a resistor to protect both the inverter as well as the DC motor. Okay, so I have this multimeter which will measure the voltage when I will switch on this inverter. But before I do that, I will just show you the input power supply that I am going to give to this inverter. So this is a laptop charger and it is switched on. Yeah, you can see I can hold it because it is just 15 volts DC. I will measure it for you. Yeah, you can see 15 volts DC. Okay. So this input supply from the laptop charger will be given to the input terminals of this inverter, red and black. Terminals of the multimeter have been connected directly in parallel to this motor, and now I'm going to connect the negative terminal of this inverter box to the negative terminal of the laptop charger. Yeah, negative terminal is connected. Now all I'm left with is this positive terminal. So now I'm not going to directly connect this terminal to this, but instead I'm going to touch it for a second and see the results. So get ready guys for the show. Go. Okay, you saw that the motor started. Let's do the test. Yeah. In the beginning the voltage shot at 500 volts and then it reduced to around 76 volts and the RPM was really high. Okay, so once again, go. Once again. So this was the test for this motor. Now let's proceed to other motors. So guys, this motor is rated at 300 volts DC. So let's connect this one. Okay. Yeah, you can see that the motor is operating at a very high speed. And the voltage will be indicated over here. Okay. Okay, the voltage is crossing 1000 volts. I have to remove it because the multimeter will get damaged at such a high voltage. I think since this motor is designed to operate at 300 volts, so it is taking very low current, because of which the voltage drop is very less and the bulb is also not lighting up. So this indicates that all the voltage generated by this inverter is dropping on this motor. That voltage is around 1000 volts. So this means that this inverter is also capable of producing around 1000 volts if the input supply is higher than 12 volts, since I'm using a 15 volts DC supply from a laptop charger. So I think it's for that reason that the voltage supply has reached more than 1000 volts, since the multimeter cannot read more than 1000 volts. I'm going to disconnect the multimeter and then I'm going to operate this motor. I have a better idea. I won't disconnect, but I will switch it off. And now I'm going to run this motor. Okay, go. Okay, so guys, this is the extreme case in which I'm going to operate this 3 volts DC motor with this DC supply. I no longer know how much voltage I am generating, since the meter just showed around 1000 volts. So let's also measure the voltage drop across this propeller and motor. Okay, so get ready guys, go. So there is one thing that can be noticed from this is that different motors suffer different voltage drop across them, and that is according to their rated voltage. Like this motor has a very low rated voltage, which is around 3 volts. So the maximum voltage drop across it is the lowest, which is 12 volts, and all the remaining voltage drop is occurring at this 100 watts bulb. But things will get different if I will short circuit this bulb and force all the voltage from this converter to fall on this motor along with the high current that this inverter is producing. Then this motor will, I think it is going to burn, because the current will be very high. It is never the voltage that burns, but it's the current that is responsible for burning the coils, the windings, and even the circuit board. Okay, so guys, I'm going to conduct a final test by connecting this 24 volts motor to this inverter. Okay, get ready guys. Okay, the RPM is really high, and it is increasing and increasing. Yeah, you can see that the voltage was around 300 something volts. Very high voltage and extremely high speed. Yeah, 320 to 600 volts. Yeah, 489 volts maximum voltage. So the shoots were really high for this motor, and the motor was unable to attain any constant speed. It kept on accelerating. So guys, that would be all about the video. Thank you so much for watching it. Please hit like and don't forget to share and subscribe. And if you have any queries about this project, You can ask them in comments and I will answer them. Thank you.